While everybody settles in, get your drinks, get situated. Welcome to the first ever episode of Saturday Night Hookahs and Hot Tubs, or SNH squared, whatever you want to call it. And cheers. I'm finishing off a Bud Light Seltzer Ginger Snap, which is terrible. I wouldn't recommend it, but just what I had sitting around. Figured they had to go somewhere, so why not into my belly. This is an idea. Let me first see the hookah's working. Oh, it's nice. All right. This is just an idea I had while streaming, bored out of my mind last weekend in the hot tub, and missing friends. I just wanted to bring people in to do this with me, like find a way to make it a community event. Me sitting in my hot tub smoking hookah, as silly as that is, I just wanted to make it a thing, I guess. So now it's a thing. It's a weekly relaxation talk show. I say talk show like there's some kind of format. I don't have a format. I kept thinking about that. Things I wanted to do, like a formula. I don't care. Well, you're not good at math, Karen. What'd you do? And part of the reason it's not actually like a talk show is because I want to spend a good chunk of it just chatting with people. Chatting with people who come on and make comments on the stream. And every week bring a different friend in to just chat, tell stories, drink a little, laugh a little, like we're at the coin, right? So that song goes. And so, that light is bright. So washed out. Adjust, thank you. There we go. So yeah, that's gonna be all this is. It's just me bringing up someone. I'm just trying to stick to. Oh yeah, well it's acronym math. Like I said, we're starting a group called the SCA, the Society for Creative Acronyms. Definitely hasn't been used yet. Yeah. But anyway, the most of the format I'm going to have on here is just I'm going to come on, give everybody a minute to get settled, talk about myself for a minute. I don't know, talk about things in my life, chat with just you guys for a minute, and then I will bring on the guest of the week. Like I said, tonight is Cameron King. He's already on there. See him, and we will figure out if I can bring him on as easily as I think I can. Again, when we're jumping on, there's like a stream with, like bring on to stream feature, where I believe I bring him up in a little window in the corner. I believe that's how it works. We're going to find that out live on the air tonight. Oh shit. We have to compete with both the with this Satanic Church of America as well. I did not realize that was also the SCA. My bad. There's a lot of SCAs out there. It's a weird level of crossover, but maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah. Cameron in a window, yes. Yeah, it's been a long week for me. As a lot of you know, I just started a new job this week. I'm working 4/12s, 48 hours a week, in a roofing shingle factory, which is quite an endeavor. It is lots of tar and steam and sand, and it's a messy fucking job. Sounds like largely my job is going to be supervising a chunk of belt, making sure nothing goes wrong. Like the job definitely goes back and forth between being really boring and really hectic when things go wrong. It seems like, yeah, it can definitely be 20 minutes of holy shit, move, and then 2 hours of, well, just everything's going great, so sit here and watch it go great, which is pretty okay. Standing up in a series of scaffoldings up in the air. My drink holder came to say hi. I'm going to name my flamingo beer holder. Right, there's always some pretty good people. I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, that's my life update. I get 3 days off in a row, which is really nice. I get Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. So it'll be really great if I keep the schedule when eventing season ever comes back. Hint, hint, coronavirus. please go away so we can have nice things back, because I'm getting prepared for it. And it also means 8 hours overtime a week, which means I'll be making much better money, which I'm very excited about. I've been so broke for the last couple of years. Like, I've just been hanging on the stupid bargaining job, hoping that someday it would pay more, like I'd get a raise or something, and I just finally came to the realization like I was never going to make any sort of money there. No one was. And so I bailed, got something better. Flamingo's missing the drink. Also, because I'm worried, does a tall can, I think the flamingo would drop the tall can and I'd be swimming in ginger snap seltzer, which is a problem. So we're not going to do that. Anyways, I've got my hookah ready. Let's go ahead and talk about tonight's first guest. I say first like there's more. Let's talk about the show's first guest. I actually, let me get my reading glasses out real quick. A little fogged up. There we go, they're so tiny. Got a little booklet. Got a little table set over here for you, those of you who can't see. By those of you, I mean literally everybody. It's off camera. Tonight's first guest is Cameron King. Hide behind you and read it. Longtime friend of mine, longtime friend of the show, longtime viewer, first time guest, I assume. He's been viewing since literally the start of the show. So that was a long time. Something stood in my face. They're not real by any means. I seriously at one point watching Hamilton, Googled Benjamin Franklin glasses while watching Hamilton because I wanted to feel more Hamilton-y. So these are my super costumey costume glasses. Definitely make it harder to read, but they're hilarious. So okay, first guest. It's Cameron King. He is a self-proclaimed 41-year-old male. Goes by the pronouns he and him. At home, he has 2 cats and 2 dogs. I asked him to tell me a little bit about his fake life, his real life, and basically that. So in his nerd life, he's a long-term reenactor and LARPer, 20 plus years. Is about as long as I've been alive. He's a long-time Magic the Gathering player and a pen and paper RPGer. In the real world, to fund all that, he works on casino equipment for real life and is a former Wizards of the Coast store manager. So that's a little bit about Cameron. Things he didn't mention that I know about personally. Proprietor of the Coppercoin Fest Hall, current king of the ROC, and a friend of mine for, 6 or 7 years now? I don't fucking know. It's been a minute. His brother actually got me the job I'm currently working, so that's thank you for that, Cameron. Now that I've been talking about him, let me take the important glasses off. I'm done reading for the night. Hookers and Hottubs, Katie. Yes, that's definitely what the show is. That's the Rated R after show. So let me now go ahead and see if I can bring Cameron onto the feed. Cameron, say something to people.
Howdy! It looks like we might have gotten this to work.
Maybe. It's kind of terrifyingly loud, but that's good. It means I can hear you. Hey,
I'm often terrifyingly loud. I'm a one-man dog pile. I'm supposed to be.
This is all right. So this is an accurate amount of loud then. So that's good. All right. All right. So everybody says they can hear you, Cameron. Things are kind of working.
Okay.
Not like I wanted them to, but
I
whatever.
might have to pause the talk because I might get a delivery. Raven's coming over.
Oh, okay, cool. I like Raven.
So, I don't know what he's dropping off, but it's a gift, and I like gifts.
I also like gifts. Danny came by and took things from me earlier, which is like the opposite of that.
Did you pick up my hookah?
No, she did not.
That bitch.
I still have that. Sorry.
That's good.
She took some of my clothes and some cable stuff from me.
Okay. Did you pick up my phone battery?
No, I still have that.
That bitch.
I have one for you and one for Dickbeard, by the way. I have a collection of portable phone batteries over here now.
Okay, well, at least they're quality Viking batteries.
That's what we're going to go with. Quality Viking magic technology.
Could be worse.
Yeah. Okay.
Could be that Scottish crap.
Let me reset the coals now that my hookah is almost entirely burnt out because we've been doing this for like 7 fucking hours trying to get things to work right.
I think it's only been 1 hour. Unless, wait, in cat hours, it's been 7.
It took literally an hour to get that mostly working. So
I had to reset my Skype password.
Dude,
And when I reset it, it said I couldn't use that password because I've already used it.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They just took the I and flipped it upside down. It's an exclamation point. So.
That's fair. Well, now I know your password contains an exclamation point.
And 7 other hieroglyphics.
All right. So yeah, you doing your Scotch tasting tonight?
So I have 2 because I fell asleep last night before I drank mine. Because I'm old and I'm fat and it was Friday and I'd worked a long week.
That's fair.
So I have number 4, which Athena said that was her favorite, and number 5.
Oh, okay. Well, no.
And I've got really cool glasses that Maylai sent to me.
Oh, nice.
Because she was disgusted with my glassware choices.
She does like to buy nice things for people when they have shitty things.
No, wait. I don't have shitty things. I just did not apparently have a Scotch glass.
Okay, fair.
Okay, give me a minute. I got to refresh and read the chat because I can't see the chat on my phone where I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Everyone was leaving their stuff there. It's entirely possible. Alan is really good at it, accidentally stealing things.
Apparently,
People leave their stuff in his house because they're comfortable.
That was weird. I moved your speaker and it got to a really weird echo inside the table. Don't want to move it too far away.
Echo.
Strange as fuck.
Oh, I'm laying on the dog and she's not happy. Say hello, Ella.
Hello, Ella. Oh.
She's completely blind and might be going deaf.
Oh, sad. I'd bring Truffle here to say hi, but I'm pretty sure that's how you lose hot tubs by putting cats in them.
Especially inflatable ones.
Yeah,
maybe only inflatable ones.
So I can't remember who earlier, but someone said the only request I have for stories. Someone said they requested a story of Cameron ripping signs out of the ground drunk at pirate events.
It wasn't a pirate event.
Wasn't it?
It was an orcish event. Because Camp Talolai had a rule that they're no longer allowed to have pirate events there.
Hi, Gwen. We miss you too.
I don't know why they would need such a rule, but we were there for... Okay, I'm putting that on. It fell off on me. We were there at Grimsay. I was there with Danielle, who did not pick up my hookah or my phone charger. And there was a treasure hunt of some sort.
It was like a scavenger hunt.
And somebody had moved the treasure from where it was supposed to be. And I was out with my brother Morgan, and we found one of the signs. It's like a historical marker or something. And it looked a little loose. And I thought maybe someone had pulled the sign out and hidden the treasure back under it. So I wiggled it a little bit, and then it didn't do anything, so I wiggled it a fuckload, and next thing I know, I was just holding it, kind of.
See, I assumed they were talking about Tortuga when he ripped the fence posts out, but I guess
that's I didn't know I had 2 stories about missing signs.
Cameron, you have a problem with pulling things out of the ground. Do you know that?
Well, there was the tent stakes, and there was the tent I flipped open where the couple was having sex. That's the first Sea Dogs I went to with you. I was walking with somebody, I don't remember who it was.
There's a couple like that's my fault.
Well, I mean, I warned you if I go to Sea Dogs, I might cause some problems. You said, no, you're such a nice, responsible, quiet person.
I don't think I said that. I think I said I was looking forward to the chaos, and I was, and I still do.
Yeah. So I was walking down, and there was this couple, and they were having sex in a pup tent, and it wasn't staked down. So I just grabbed the 2 corners, and I flipped it over with them inside.
Yeah, I remember that.
Technically, I don't think that's pulling something out of the ground, though.
You started pulling the fence posts out for the Orc Belly's fence on the way to the fence.
Because they wouldn't let me in because they said I was too drunk.
I'm not asking for the justification. I'm just saying that is what happened.
Definitely what happened. Iron Tom personally had to pick me up and carry me out. So, much like he carried me out of your tent when I shoved his throne in there.
Yeah, because you tried to throw Kale out of the way and bust your way into the Orc Belly.
I don't know that it was Kale. I think I was told Kale won't let you in, and then I knocked whoever the bouncer was aside and said, "Out of the way, lettuce."
Yeah, that's fair.
Because Kale is a type of lettuce. I don't think it was Kale because later on when I met Kale, he did not recall me doing that.
Yeah, I don't think Caleb would be working security for the
door for right? I think
yeah.
I think it's a lower tier orc or a meaner orc than Kale is. Kale is an awful sweet man for an orc.
Yeah.
So
I think once you've been in an organization for a while, they don't usually put you on door duty.
I've done door duty though because I have the official stance as owner of the Copper Coin that I will never ever ask somebody to do a job that I haven't done.
I like that stance. I think I've pretty much done that. I don't think anybody in my crew do anything I haven't done. Like I strip on stage because.
Yeah. So, in fact, I remember you were helping me at the coin one time tear down, and the dumpsters were all full at a Pirate's Plunder, and we ended up having to open all the garbage bags and crush all the cans and bottles to make enough room. And like 4 or 5 people walked by and said, "Oh, you guys are doing Copper Coin stuff? Can we help?" I said, "Sure. This is what we're doing." They're like, "Oh, I'm busy," and all left.
Yeah.
That was just usually like 2 hours doing that.
Just literally just
everyone
sorting through garbage to make it small.
See how much work it is.
Yeah. That was fun.
I mean, it was fun. We were sitting there like riffing on everyone as they walked past, saying they wanted to help and then not.
Yeah.
But
well, it was like the last day of the event, though. So we like told stories and talked bullshit about people who kept walking by. And,
that might have also been the one where I caught fire and you recorded me telling the whole world how it was all made up of little squares and you had to manage them.
Not the whole world's made up, just your world. Your life is made up of little boxes. You have to put things in little boxes. And here's the box where pirate stuff was, and here's the box where real life stuff was, and here's the box where Danny was, and I love that box and all that cute stuff like that. It was kind of adorable to a certain weird extent.
There was even a box for Quinoa's birthday, because it was actually Quinoa's birthday.
Yeah, we drank a lot of his scotch that night.
It was actually Katrine's scotch. It was his champagne.
Fair.
But
we drank a lot of their drinks.
He has learned now when he says, "Hey, let's get sloppy drunk," I have a different definition of sloppy drunk than he does.
Yes, true. True.
Because I got fired.
He was talking about that a great story. There's, you remember that Sea Dogs we took them the back wall of the stage and everybody walked behind that feline alley back there. We told them they were on stage and we made them perform.
Yes,
it was like a Sunday afternoon or something at Sea Dogs.
It was Sunday afternoon, and I was also interspersing that with reading from a book of dirty limericks my mom had bought me brought to the event to deliver.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
People would walk by, and we were sitting there just being lazy as fuck, sitting in chairs. So we were worn out, because Sunday afternoon was hot as hell. And we were just sitting there in front of a half-deconstructed stage, just everybody walked by, and we'd be like, "Hey, dance, dance!" And then they'd do a little jig, and we'd cheer for them, and they'd walk on. It was entertaining.
One guy was really good, if I remember right.
I can't remember any particular performances. I just remember the broad concept of it.
He got up and did the worm, dude.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
There's pictures of me like sitting there with Shayna hanging onto me and me holding onto one of those portable fans, just cooling the two of us, just looking dead as fuck.
There's a lot of pictures of people looking dead as fuck on Sunday at Sea Dogs, I have to say.
That picture is like my my before diet and workout picture I look back at, and like, man, that picture, that was not a flattering look where I was just leaned forward, hunched over in a chair just as a human blob.
Give me 5 seconds. Raven's here.
Have Raven come say hi. Cameron's grabbing Raven, yeah. Yeah, that was 3 or 4 years ago. It was a while back.
How did you come say hi?
That was probably the last time we set the full stage up, actually. Yeah, think about it.
And also, I have 6 of your bottles here. Oh, sure. I brought them to the...
We've been doing this long enough that we knew that Sunday we had to tear like at least half our shit down, so we didn't do it all on Friday. Hey, Raven, what's up, buddy? Welcome to Saturday.
That was a disaster.
That's the only Raven I know, yeah. Jonathan Raven.
Okay. Good to see you.
Raven, your name is now an amalgamation of your pirate name, like mine. I'm Alan Alphonse, you're Jonathan Raven.
Oh, it's like that box thing. I'm going to put this on right now. I got to show everybody. Okay, well, I don't know if everybody here knows this, but Raven is a member of my crew in the Copper Coin.
Right.
He just brought me a gift, and I'm going to put it on in front of everybody because I'm super honored.
You have to describe it because you're only on audio except for with me, so I can see it.
Okay, it's a captain's badge.
Aww, it's adorable.
When the show is over, I'll take a picture and post it into the event. So I'm putting it on right now.
Good job, Raven. It's badass.
It is completely the wrong shirt to do this with, but it's the least captainly of my shirts.
I'm in my most admiralish garb right now.
Swim trunks. I mean, it's at least nautical, right? Like,
yeah. I'm gonna assume I'm just fully naked from the bob down. So you guys haven't seen me get out of the hot tub 5 fucking times to deal with tech issues.
Okay. Yeah.
The funny thing was, I was fully intending to have this thing only be like an hour and a half max, but it took an hour to get going. So I don't know how long we're gonna last now.
Okay.
Hot tub.
Sorry about that. I'm back now.
Degrees. All right.
When he asked me to stop by, I thought we might be done by now, so we're still working on technical problems.
Yeah, I again really had expected to hold this about an hour, but
I mean, whatever. We're on pirate time, or cat time, or Viking time.
Dude, I'm honestly just glad we've never had like hold a feline show for an hour. Like having to hold a live stream is so much better than having a whole audience full of people sitting there while we try and get shit ready. Like so.
Yeah. Or the one show where the bar flooded halfway through, and I had to stick my arm down that rain drain.
Dude, we've had plenty of shows where things have gone to just fucking hell halfway through a show. I mean, the amount of shows where like the show where the generator died midway through, and we had to just do like
acapella.
Yeah, acapella from there on out. I don't know. I love how much I pissed off Danny because she sang "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman," and I started singing the backup pips for her without it just made her lose her shit in the middle of singing. I was very very on point with my whoop in the middle of that song.
Okay, since we're not sure how long this is going to be, I'm going to start drinking some scotch now.
Okay, I'm going to crack open another drink.
This is actually yesterday's scotch.
All right, you got 2 days worth of scotch to get through.
So, it's got a really nice color to it. I don't know if you can see that with my camera.
Hey.
All scotch does not look the same, despite what people say. So, this was something I got from Captain No Quarter of the Snuggly Duckling. Mm-hmm. He was doing a special Christmas thing for some people. And I splurged a little on myself this year.
Yeah, I would have loved to have done that, but I knew it wasn't something I could afford this year. I'm scraping my next paycheck.
I'm going to be honest, not running my bar like 6 or 7 times this year has saved me a ton of money. So despite the fact that it's pandemic and everything's expensive and nobody's working and all that, I actually might be doing better financially.
I have no idea
also,
how to be able to
casinos aren't closing. They're doing everything they can to stay open.
Yeah.
So
did they
going to work actually reminds me more and more of going to events with everything's in a tent and cold.
They stayed open through this recent lockdown, didn't they?
What?
Did they close back down for this 2-week lockdown? Okay.
Nope. They just are still in tents. They can't come inside. The Native American casinos actually don't have to follow any of the rules. The only way the Native American casinos are affected by anything is if the president writes a letter to the chief and requests it of them.
Yeah. No, I know.
And we all know the current president is not going to do that.
No, I remember working for Muckleshoot, the Native casinos are technically on sovereign land, and they can choose to follow the federal regulations or not, and they 99% of the time do, but I was kind of certain if this came down, they weren't going to this time.
And I may be wrong here, but I believe also if they do follow a state or federal mandate when they choose to, they can also apply for the same state aid or federal aid that anybody who's following that mandate gets. So.
Yeah. Whenever I heard from them that they were on about the sovereign land, like not having to follow rules, I knew that's kind of they don't have to, but they're not going to fuck around and find out what happens if they decide to go fully rogue, like.
And I'm saving a little tiny bit for Danny there in the bottom because she's tried every single one of these.
Oh, that's cute.
Even though she's not a Scotch fan.
It's fair.
She's a whiskey girl, definitely, but she's not a Scotch fan.
If it wasn't so insanely expensive, I would suggest we do like the drink it all in one go, like the video we watched. But it seems like nice stuff and a lot of money.
I thought about doing that on Christmas Day, just getting super trashed, but I think this is too nice to actually wait and do that.
That's a good call.
Although I did read a cool thing about advent calendars. Apparently, if you get one and start every day from the day after Christmas, or Boxing Day, as they call it across the pond, and work your way down to it, you would eat the last candy on Inauguration Day.
I might do that for myself because I'm looking forward to January 20th.
So it would be really nice to do with some, they make them with beers, and all of them will be on sale.
Yeah. Well,
right?
my first full
Except
paycheck.
for probably this one.
Yeah, my first full paycheck will be technically Christmas Day, so I'm assuming the day before Christmas. So I might do that. Is it a good one?
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Your favorite so far?
I still like yesterday's better. It was a little stronger, had a little more bite to it, and I'm going to be honest, alcohol should hurt you just a little bit to remind you that it is poison.
Agreed. That's why I drink things like Four Locos. I want my drink to punch me in the face.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think I've ever drank a Four Loko. I'm a little old for that one. We drank OE, though, and a variety of what they used to call Alka Pops, which is the first, Mike's Hard Lemonades and stuff. They used to have a ton of those. I remember drinking Zima when it was first around, and there was that ridiculous guy in the suit that kind of looked like Skinny Ziegler with a jerry curl.
That's the sad thing. I remember Ziegler. I remember Zima commercials.
Nobody should remember Ziegler.
I remember Zima commercials when I was a kid, thinking it was something really cool, and then growing up and be like, this is just hard alcohol, or it's malt liquor. And they reintroduced it, they brought it back, and it's just malt liquor and Sprite is what it tastes like.
In my early 20s, I was in love with Smirnoff Ice.
I used to drink that too.
So,
green apple,
my favorite, though, they don't make anymore, and that's called Hooch.
Ooh. Doesn't sound good.
No, but it had a song on the radio. You got the Hooch, sweet baby. You got the friendship. You got the only sweetest thing in the world.
Me and Lahir a couple weeks ago played a flip cup competition game where you try and you fill a cup full of Four Loko, like a little shot glass thing, and you have a couple lines on the table and you play flip cup. Every time you flip the cup successfully you flip it upside down and back on the right side. You move the cup one side closer to your opponent, and if you cross enough lines to get all the way over to their side, your opponent has to drink that cup. And it's a very cutthroat
I saw
game.
that on it was on one of the pirate Facebook
Yeah, so I
groups.
posted that. And, me and Lahir did that a couple weeks ago for Corinne's birthday with Four Loko, which is awful.
I want to see that multiplayer. You get 3 rows.
Yeah.
And you have to line the shots up to make them drink them.
Yeah. That'll work.
I like complicated things.
I miss Flip Cup. I miss beer pong, but I don't know anybody who will play beer pong without using water cups, and that just bums me out. Because I like being disgusting.
With Corona, I think beer pong's a really iffy thing to begin with. But I too miss Flip Cup because you taught me how to play that, and we came in second one year at Tortuga.
That was great, yeah.
And then I had the allergic reaction to drinking almost probably 7 beers or something.
It was a lot of beers, yeah.
Yeah, and my throat actually swelled closed, and I spit the last one out on the poor girl across from me from Drunken Norwegian.
Yeah, I went all over the table. Drunken Norwegian were some amazing competitors, and they were the only ones we lost to, right?
We lost to them, and then they lost to the Scarlet Dove, maybe.
Did they? I thought they ended up winning it.
I'm gonna be honest. I was running a party. I finished my night in training scroll and played in the Olympics that year, and did my first 8 hours of volunteer work, and then drove the truck home after tearing down the party. I remember very little of that event, except for it was fucking amazing.
That's fair.
That's the last Tortuga I went to.
Same, yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Because the year after, no, we went 2 years ago and we did nothing, which was right, didn't we?
That was the year before that.
Yeah, no, because I'm trying to think now. It's been a minute. Because the last one we went to before the pandemic was the year that we didn't, the year that there wasn't really a party circle. Remember? the year that the only groups competing were Jay and the Janky Peacock.
Technically, that wasn't Tortuga.
That was
Port Nassau Tortuga Knights.
Well, yeah, fine.
I'm sorry. To be legally correct here, it was not Tortuga Pirate Festival, which is a copyrighted and owned name. It was Pacific Port Nassau Tortuga Knights. Sorry, I'm just shout out to the wonderful people who took over those events and are running them now.
Hey, I appreciate them to high hell and back, to be honest.
I took a staff position too for them.
Yeah.
Because when people make good decisions, you should get behind them and help them hold up.
Yeah. I spent most of that Tortuga just, I think, in the, whose fucking pool was I in all weekend? Davis and Sanctuary Pan. I was in Sanctuary Pan's inflatable pool most of that weekend because it was hot and I wanted to relax.
They refused to take my staff picture while I was in the pool. I was in the pool drinking a bottle of champagne with a horse in an astronaut costume while playing with rubber ducks with several kids, getting a really good head massage from Buckets from the Janky Peacock. And the photographer walked by and was like, I am ready for my staff picture. And that sweethearted photographer looked at me and says, no.
Worth a
I
shot.
don't think you've seen the staff pictures from that event still.
I don't. I'm not staff, so I wouldn't have seen any of them, I guess. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I posted them somewhere by now, but it's really, I mean, I understand it's a volunteer organization, and you get to things when you get to them.
Yeah.
And this year, we're not getting to a lot of things, and I completely understand.
Yeah, I know. We're all just getting back.
Although next year, we will probably have we're going for like 8 online ROC events, because we can take a year off and probably still survive it, but I think anything longer than that is going to be awful.
Yeah.
So I'm working with Rouge Wanderlust to maybe do an event in January. I don't know if anybody here on the stream has been to ROC Yule, but we usually get together, have a potluck, a couple of small contests, and then do a present swap. We're going to try and do the present swap online. You don't have to buy it through Amazon, but you can buy it through anyone that has a delivery system and just put a couple things on there. And you mail somebody a present, then somebody you don't know mails you one.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
And then we could do, for the online part, I'm hoping to find 5 different games and activities you can do while streaming. And then the next event would be the Masquerade. And we'll try and find 5 different events that we can do. Because with online events, you kind of have a tendency to do the same thing each time. And that means the events don't have their particular flair and flavor.
Yeah.
Right?
I get that.
Every time you can do a scavenger hunt, but by the 5th event, people will be like, oh, a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Right? So
online
we've got to do
events are
something
hard
because
to sell.
people are really missing the community.
Yeah. Online events are hard to sell. Like I want to get online and do something, but it's like the problem with online events is that it's so funneled into one spot, whereas in an event you all break up into your own smaller groups and stuff, whereas an online event you're all forced to be in the same conversation the entire time.
All right. Well, and for me also, that particular mental block that comes up a lot after real events called post-pirate depression, that's actually worse for me almost with the online events because I don't get any real interaction. I do get some interaction. I do get my social spoons built up with that. But then the immediate it's over and there's no after revel, there's no pack down, there's no tear down, we're all going to lump back in our cars and drive 2 hours home, maybe stop and get the best burger on exit number 88,
Yeah, it gives you just enough to remind you what you're missing, but not quite scratch that itch, which is a bummer. I get that.
No. There's a huge chat log that I'm just going to have to read later because it's just like popping up all over the place. Invented, googly eyes, cheers, flamingos. I don't even know what's going on. So
People here was talking about his googly eyes. He's put all over my shit. I don't know. And everybody's shit. Fucking Criminal Dawn.
They've ruined the finish on some stuff. I got to say, I'm a fan of the hijinks, but not the damage done by some shenanigans.
I've got to admit, I'm scared to take the googly eyes off of my ship wheel because I know they've been on there long enough that peeling them off is going to take the finish with it. Then I'm going to have to refinish the ship wheel.
Get a shallow pan big enough to dunk the ship wheel in and fill it full of some sort of oil.
Oh, yeah.
And then the adhesion will wear off, and all that will happen is you'll have a really slippery ship wheel. So, but then you'll make somebody like Scarface carrying it around. It'll be funny. What is that? That's Scarface. He's our little friend. He's carrying the slippery ship wheel.
Scarface won't join us because he's still boycotting Facebook, so he can't come to things like this.
Oh.
Because,
I understand that. Facebook isn't always the greatest.
no, I know.
So when we started the pandemic or the quarantine or whatever, I had about 1,000 friends on Facebook. And then, like, month 2, I was kind of bored, and I approved all of my other friend requests. And I'm down to, like, 975. So, like, 50 people out there are like, nope, can't deal with this dude. His politics and the fact that he wears masks are just unprecedented.
Yeah, I've gotten rid of a couple
I've unfriended
people.
2 people, too,
Yeah.
and one of them immediately blocked me because he still owes me a bottle of scotch. Over that stupid flamethrower, but I digress.
I unfriended him, but I think he blocked. I don't think he blocked me yet because I still see him arguing with people, and I don't know.
It's really funny when you see like 12 comments, you pop it open, there's 2, and you agree with both of them. You're like, I made good choices today.
Yeah.
Unlike that time I sucked the wine cooler out of the carpet when I was 16.
Yeah, definitely. I think that this whole format will be a much more fun thing to do once I have people over for real.
Yeah.
People kept asking, like, oh, you're going to do this in person? Like, I'm not. I'm still
You should
on quarantine.
maybe have some questions from the audience. Like, you can answer, like, before we start, like, the first hour, take, like, people messaging you questions to your Admiral Alphonse page.
Yeah. I asked people to ask me questions, and everyone's like, it sounds like fun, and no one said anything. No one asked any questions. So, I mean, now's the time.
I think it's because everybody's heard about me.
Yeah, what?
I'm not a mystery.
That's fair. Same here. Pretty transparent. If anybody has questions on the stream, currently ask them now. Like, me and Cameron are open books. We'll tell you our bullshit if you want. Embarrassing stories, I don't know.
There was that one time that my dick fell out of Pirate Splendor while I was putting on pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw your dick twice that weekend. I was a little mad about it.
Neither one of them were my fault exactly. Like, I wasn't taking out and showing people.
Still saw it
One time I was wearing loose shorts and you were like sitting down on the ground. I was in the chair above you and you looked up the wrong angle and the mouse came out of his house. What was the other time? Was I peeing?
I think the other time you were like trying to put something on your belt. And like just had like you're trying to fix your pants and it's like drop your pants to put a belt on and like God damn it, Cameron, you do not need to whip your dick out to fix your belt.
So funny story. I don't know if everybody here goes to conventions, but I go to Norwestcon almost every year now, and usually we stay in the party wing where the balconies face that swamp. I guess it is.
Yeah.
Right, there's nobody out there.
Just a big
this last year, I stayed in the tower, and drunk me did not realize that, and I got up out of bed completely fucking naked, walked up to the balcony to get a Gatorade first thing in the morning, and I was like literally staring at downtown SeaTac. That could have been bad, but like everybody was in school or something, so it worked out.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Probably fine.
I got yelled at by all the girls in my room.
Yeah.
Cameron, put your dick away again. That's the room. The year that we had to call maintenance because I plugged up the toilet.
I remember that.
Yeah. Hey, I fixed it before they showed up.
I remember me and Danny were laughing, losing our shit, joking. Like we were just, I think we were both kind of high at that point, and we were just laughing our asses off because you were describing the maintenance person like there was a poop and then I pushed it and the poop went down. And we were just sitting.
I was doing an imitation of Plucky Duck from Tiny Toon Adventures. Was that what it was? I want to flush it again.
With the Animaniacs reboot, I thought I heard someone say that they're doing a Tiny Toons reboot again, which could be fun. I don't know.
be careful with reboots. I mean, can they reboot something that was awful the first time and maybe fix it? Something that sounds like it would be really cool, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Or find something that, like, I don't know if anybody's ever seen it, but the guy who did Hellboy, I can't remember his name now, he had a cartoon called The Adventures of the Screwtop Head.
Huh.
And it was just an amazing, they did a pilot. It's on YouTube. You can also buy it on DVD.
Huh.
And it's a steampunk robot who helps President Abraham Lincoln fight Nazis.
Oh, nice.
Or something like that. And it's just amazing. And they did a pilot and then just cut it.
Can I respond to comments from here?
I don't know.
Dude, if I if I touch someone's comment, the first thing that pops up is block patchery. Like, yes, that's why I touched her comment. I definitely want to block her from commenting anymore. I'm not allowed.
Four Locos are the devil.
What?
Four Locos are the devil. The comment that I can see right now.
Oh. I watched the first half of the Animaniacs reboot, and that's been pretty fun so far. Like, groundbreaking, but entertaining.
It's not the same, but it's pretty good.
Know. We're old now. I mean, it was something that came out when we were much younger. It was fun then, but
I like it. I like the fact that it came back. I think it's one of the more educational cartoons that's out there. They touch on real-world issues. Their satire is on point.
Usually, yeah. It's pretty good.
I really like the song they did about food allergies. Okay, so this is Scotch number 5.
Okay.
It is also nice golden color, a little lighter than the last one.
I'll drink with you. It's not Scotch, but it's
Ooh.
I'm still drinking on.
This one definitely has a kind of salt smoke to it.
All right.
So it's a little burnt.
Huh. Do you have any reference to what these are, or you just know it's different Scotch every day? Is there a key?
It's a different Scotch every day, and there's an answer key you can open. But I'm waiting until Christmas,
okay.
And I'm making little notes. I have a little list here, and I'm posting a little bit about their flavors online. I don't know if you noticed I was doing these kind of daily toasts.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing those, yeah.
Tonight, after the podcast, I'm going to be kind of socially lubricated, not quite drunk, but, and I'm going to post my 2 toasts for the day. I've been trying to honor a different kind of person or idea every year, and so kind of one of those things you see that people do before Thanksgiving, where they do the 20 days of gratefulness or something.
Yeah.
So, because even though this has been kind of a shitty year, I am still kind of a blessed person because I know a bunch of amazing people. I'm part of a bunch of amazing communities. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my stomach. I have a job that I'm working at when other people are out of work, and it pays my bills and other people's. I mean, we live in a country where we have the right to vote still. I mean, yeah. So there are a lot of bad things in the world, but you've got to really sometimes embrace the good things in order to have enough energy to change the bad ones.
It's true, yeah. Yeah, sure.
It's a lot there.
Cheers, yep.
Really smoky.
Yeah.
Almost leaves you thirsty.
Okay. My favorite scotches are generally the more peaty, smoky scotches.
I like the other one better. This one's good, but I like the other one better.
I want to say Islay scotches. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong.
I think that you're correct about the word, but not the pronunciation, but I can't really help it because I've only ever read it.
Yeah.
So
same. I've spent a lot of time working a bar reading the backs of bottles, but not drinking them or hearing Scottish people pronounce them, so I don't know.
I have a really cool letter that came with it that I can read if you want.
Oh, give us the highlights.
So, blah, blah, blah. First time with an advent calendar. Don't panic, everything's out of order. None of the bottles have labels. This is, you can try it without judgment. You can take notes as you try each one and compare them when you open them. You'll find a wild ride from around Scotland and our isles, from the sweet and subtle taste of the space sides, the salty coastal sides, all the way down to the heavily peated drams from Islay. Islay.
Right.
So, you should have a clean palate and glasses. Glencairn glasses would be the best, and that's what the lovely Maylai bought me.
Nice.
They're really nice, and she got me the whiskey stones too, kind of an early Christmas present, and I'm going to send her something cool. probably tomorrow when I'm like doing the rest of my Christmas shopping online.
I sent her my clothes.
You can put ice in them if you want. I prefer not to. I prefer to do the neat, But you can use a whiskey stone. I know some people. I drank scotch with this guy. I actually picked a fight with one year at Sea Dogs. It's a long story, but I had a bottle of 15-year-old scotch with me, and I should make up, for how we did it. We drank the scotch together, but he told me he couldn't drink scotch without putting one drop of water on top of it. Ice cold water. One drop of ice cold water had to be on top of his scotch before he drank it, which is just kind of bizarre, actually.
It's a bit nitpicky, yeah.
Yeah, so that is back when Vincent was running Copper Coin, and I pretended to sneak behind it and grab a bottle, and they said, "Oh, no, you can't do that," and the guy thought I was really stealing it and tackled me to the ground. And I ended up kicking him in the junk when he picked me up.
Fun. Good job, Cameron.
Not on purpose. He kind of scruffed me by my belt and my neck, and I kicked backwards, and I hit him right in the mommy-daddy button. So.
All right. You gotta do what you gotta do, huh?
I'm not used to being randomly manhandled, I guess. So. And as a short guy, when he did pick me up, I was right there level with,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like, hey, I'm going to kick you in the dick. It's like, hey, we're fighting, and I kicked you in the dick. So that's my purse. I don't know you.
I'm drinking Alaskan hard seltzer that Nubu dropped off a couple weeks ago. I'm still down to my last two. Lemon lime Alaska hard seltzer brewed with Sitka spruce tips.
Is everybody making those now?
Yes, that is definitely the thing. Everybody wants to get on the hard seltzers. It's 2020 cider. Everybody wants to start making a cider 2 years, 3 years.
It's probably cheaper to produce seltzer, so more companies are doing. Because I would say about maybe a third of the beer companies produce a cider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas I think more like half are producing a seltzer or more.
Yeah, the seltzer craze has gotten a little nuts. But, hey, whatever. At least malt liquor's kind of going away.
There's something to be said about malt liquor. You just got to really make sure you drink probably 2 glasses of water for every 10 ounces of malt liquor you drink.
Malt liquor makes the worst hangovers, humanly.
Yeah. But again, hydration is a key. Never drink malt liquor on an empty stomach. I mean, we all did it when we were younger because we got more bang for our buck, but you really got to get something in there. No. And I'm a big fan of eating a lot of carbs and grease before I drink,
Yeah. Next beer. It's hopefully only going to be a 3-beer night because beer number 4 is, and by beer I mean seltzers. Seltzer number 4 is the Peppermint Patty Bud Light. That's all I have left. So hopefully I won't need another drink.
There are no jokes, and I didn't block anybody. Elevator goes out. Diet craze is nuts. People are worried about pandemic weight. I'm like, just the weight will leave when the pandemic does.
I decided to go the opposite direction on that and just lost a bunch of weight and got in great shape over the pandemic because I would go crazy otherwise, I think. It was
That's fine.
The only thing I had control over, so I took control over that.
I planted a garden and then it all died when I went back to work.
Yeah. My garden kind of took a shit in the middle of the summer, too. I need to tear it down so it's ready for next year.
I still have onions and potatoes growing. So.
Yeah,
I think everything else died.
Malt liquor. Have you ever had malt liquor before, Beth? Beth asked if coffee liqueur is a malt liquor. No, malt liquor is it's like an offshoot of beer. It's brewed in this kind of same sort of way as beer, but it's
so no hops.
No hops, yeah. But it's just it's like a sugar base, right?
Yeah.
No, it's
it's
sugar,
malt. Malt is a type of sugar. Malt sugar.
No, malt liquor is like Old English, Four Locos. It's sort of stuff you see in the weird back cabinet of a 7-Eleven. It's bad
most
stuff.
of the alcoholic lemonades are also malt based, like Mike's Hard Lemonade and like the Smirnoff Ices. Also, it's similar to how the fact that grocery stores in Washington used to not sell anything but beer and wine, and you could buy bottles of Irish cream there, but they weren't really Irish cream; they were fortified wine with malt liquor.
Yeah.
So
Because malt liquor, the restrictions are much lesser, even though the alcohol content can get pretty high. So
Yeah.
it's kind of the bridging point between actual beer and normal liquor. It usually has an alcohol content similar to wine.
Fortified wines have malt liquor in them to boost the Boone's.
Yeah. I know one night back when I was like 23, we got really drunk off of Tacoma Boys sold malt liquor based like spirits, like vodka that was actually malt liquor, but it was malt liquor made to be like vodka. So it was only like 30%, but it wasn't technically vodka, but it was a weird.
Right.
It made me sick as fuck. I remember the hangover was awful.
Yeah, dude, I can't imagine. My stepdad one time was in the 7-Eleven, and it was during the alcohol pop phase when we were trying like the Mike's Hard Lemonade and the Doc Otis and all those.
Juice.
And he saw Cisco at the 7-Eleven, and none of us had ever drank it before because we didn't live in the ghetto. And he bought one of each flavor and brought them back. I was like, look what I found. It's something new. And those were just awful. They were malt liquor. They sat in the fridge for like 2 years and finally threw them out when we moved.
Yeah. Back in my hanging out UW college days, wasn't going to UW, just hung out with people who were going to UW and lived in a apartment with UW students. We used to drink a lot of like juice, Sparks, things like that. The old alcoholic energy drinks that were just terrible for you.
They're now illegal in Washington State. Because, we need somebody to tell us we shouldn't put those together.
I know. It's such a funny thing, like, you can't buy Four Locos, but you can buy with energy in them, but you can buy a Four Loco and a 5-hour energy, and it's the exact same thing.
Or you go to a bar and order a Jaeger bomb.
Yeah, or just a vodka Red Bull. I mean, shit.
Yeah. I used to work with a guy who, he would come in to his morning shift when I worked at the casino, and from a night shift somewhere else, and he would take a coffee cup, and he would pour a 5-hour energy drink into it, and then he would go over, and we used really cheap coffee there. It wasn't real, made from grounds or anything. It was made from a liquid concentrate coffee syrup. When you push the button, it would shoot hot water. What?
I used to change those boxes, yeah. They're basically, it was like a soda system, but with coffee.
Yeah.
You just shove a box into a thing.
When you push the button, it mixes hot water with the syrup, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you just push the button once and don't hold it down, it just shoots out a concentrate of that coffee syrup. So he would tap it 3 times and get 3 shots of this concentrated coffee syrup and then fill it about halfway full cup of coffee. And it would be a 5-hour energy drink, 3 of these like coffee syrup blobs that came out, and a half cup of coffee. He'd mix it up and he'd drink it, but he swore it tasted like a Tootsie Roll.
Blech.
So I had to try it.
Yeah.
That day went by so fast.
Ugh.
And I sweat just like every minute of the whole day. It was awful. But yeah, it tasted exactly like a Tootsie Roll.
I believe you basically did cocaine.
No, because my heart did not actually vibrate out of my chest and fly away.
That's good. Okay. Yeah, that's...
Because if I did cocaine, I imagine that would happen.
I have to imagine. One of those things I'm staying the fuck away from.
My mom did a lot of coke in the 80s. I don't need that problem.
That's fair. It's fair. We've got enough modern day problems. Leave the coke problems in the 80s.
So, I mean, natural drugs I don't have a problem with, but cocaine's a little far removed from the natural product of the coca leaf that the natives used to chew for pain relief.
Right. Well, I mean, also, not to get too political with it, but the problem is there's no ethical way to buy cocaine. Like, cocaine is such a fucking...
Yeah,
the way
I
it is
see your
made.
point. I see your point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drugs with no... I mean, it's like buying diamonds. There's really no ethical way to do it.
Yeah, like if you're buying weed from someone who grows weed in their basement, who the fuck cares? You're supporting some stoner who grows some weed. But it's not your buddy Ted that grows cocaine in his basement. I mean, it's the likelihood of it coming from a cartel is where it's coming from.
Yeah, okay.
And
fair
that's
enough.
kind of shitty. No, hey, that's not to get on my high horse all fucking night about coke problems, but it's something I don't agree with. But hey, people have their vices. I do my best to not get on them for it, as long as it's not hurting anybody else. Just be.
Everybody needs a crutch.
Yeah. I'm currently inhaling super like raw form tobacco and chugging alcohol. So I mean, whatever.
At least you're not doing it through your nose.
Hey, Ludo, what's up? Ludo says weed.
Weed. I had one pot with her by accident.
Weed will kill you, Cameron. Don't do it.
She had me open up a bag of pot candies at Quarters and Carnival, I think it was, and I did not realize they were pot candies. So when she asked me, "Hey, can you open this bag of candy?" I whipped my knife out, I cut it open, and I grabbed one of the top because I took my tax.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Cameron, don't there's pot in there," and it was gone. It was done. It was already in my system.
Weed candy is a like deceptively dangerous thing. 'Cause, man, like one candy can put you on your ass for a night. I've made that mistake of like someone like, "Oh, you want candy?" Like, yeah, sure, I'll have weed candy, and it's not like just hitting a blunt. Like a weed candy is a commitment. It is gonna be in your system.
I was really paranoid for like the rest of the day.
That's fair.
Oh, you said Ludo. I heard Lulu. I thought Lulu was on here.
No, not Ludo.
Ludo. I don't think I've met Ludo. Hey, Ludo.
Old friend from con days past. I met at RustyCon way the fuck back in the day.
Was he at the Flying Tiger Speakeasy?
I couldn't tell you. I don't think so. I don't know.
I thought there was a guy named Ludo there, and it's probably an uncommon name, I would guess.
Well, I actually met Ludo the same weekend I met Katie. About 10 years ago at RustyCon, yeah.
She was the Flying Tiger Speakeasy.
Yes, she was. We went together, and I dropped her phone on the way out of the car, getting out of the door at that event. I forgot she had put my phone like on. I was holding onto her phone for some reason. It was sitting in my lap, and I got out of the car, and it flopped on my lap and landed face down on the concrete and shattered the screen. She wasn't too bummed out about it because it happens a lot to her, so it wasn't like a weird, rare occurrence, her phone breaking. I still felt really bad.
We have 148 comments, but only 5 people watching. That's an average of 30 comments per person.
We have talking to friends. Also, the people in there have been rotating in now. People have been stopping by for a minute and then leaving, so.
My mom said she was going to watch it. I kind of hope she doesn't.
I think she stopped by earlier, or commented or something earlier, but then everything went to hell, so who knows.
Okay. Well, she's not the most technologically savvy person.
Yeah, and I've been making the stream hard for you to watch because I fucked it up like 5 times.
Next time we just got to do a dry run and then a loop run.
There we go. Yeah. Next time I think I know that I was really banking on the invite a friend onto the stream thing to be a simple and easy process, but I'd never tried it before, and it apparently didn't.
No, it worked fine for us. It was shitty for everybody else.
Yeah, it was just weird that everybody immediately lost sound as soon as I got you on board. So, honestly, next time I might just assume I have to do everything through my computer, and because my computer's powerful, I have to make all this work well on Twitch. Who knows? I'll figure something out for next time.
When Facebook did its update, I lost the ability to use Messenger on my laptop. Every time I open a message, it says no internet connection. So even though I'm on my laptop, I'll have to open my phone to send a message on Facebook.
Huh. Weird.
Isn't that just weird? And I've tried like all kinds of, I've re-downloaded everything and updated everything and reset my modem and everything. It's just, Facebook has turned into hot garbage since the last update, in my opinion.
Yeah. We keep fixing things that aren't broke. It can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So it's really hard for me to get Facebook messages now because they don't show my phone because I didn't have Messenger until tonight when I installed it just for this podcast, Alan.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah,
Dragged me into the 21st century kicking and screaming.
Yeah. Also, I mean, most of the things you end up enjoying, I drag you into kicking and screaming. I made you play beer pong and flip cup for the first time.
Yes, you did, and they were both fun. Although I prefer to play cider pong so I don't, go to anaphylactic shock. And spew alcohol all over a pretty woman's tits.
We could split the difference between the two of us and do seltzer pong.
Seltzer pong, okay, fair enough. When the pandemic is over, which it may never be.
Well, the problem is I have a lot of friends. so much hot
You
tub.
can stop there, Alan. You have a lot of
I
friends.
have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends currently who I had recently brought up playing beer pong again. It's been forever, and I want to play beer pong again. But most of my friends don't like the idea of the actual ping pong ball landing in the thing you're going to drink because it hits the ground sometimes. There's a water cup. You're supposed to wash the ball off before you throw it, but people don't like the contamination of a dirty ping pong ball landing into something you're going to drink. So people want you to play in which all the cups on the table are full of water, and every time you land a cup, you just take a drink from your own personal drink. Which I get the safety of that, but the problem with that is that you get people who just kind of, you sunk 3 cups, so it's, and they're not really drinking the perfect amount of beer, and it takes the challenge of the drinking aspect out of it.
So we've got to design a 2-layer cup to where the shot of beer is in the bottom and the catcher goes on top.
I used to have a project I kickstarted back in the day that came with cups like slots inside them, so that there was an upper cup that sit on top of solo cups for the pong ball to land in, so the ball never touched the beer. And now I see to find like a series of like solo cups where like a smaller like plastic like solo cup, that like the clear plastic one. I need to find one that sits inside of a big red solo cup, so we can have inserts basically.
Cupception.
Yeah, because that would be great. Cause I hate to be like a jerk about those rules, but man, it bums me out when people are just playing all night and they're still sipping their one single beer they've been working on for hours. Because the whole thing about beer pong is it gets you drunk because each side has a total of 3 beers sitting on the side of it, so each side is splitting a beer and a half each time you play a game. So if you're winning a bunch, even if you're winning a bunch, you're still drinking a bunch of beer, and that starts to inhibit your ability to play. So no one runs the table all night because you start to get really drunk. It takes
I guess if you're like a drunk savant, you might.
Yeah, I don't know. But in my opinion, it takes the drinking in part of it out and it makes it more just a competition of who can throw balls better, and I don't care about that so much. As much of who can drink the most shitty beer in a night. That's the 21-year-old Alan used to party at frat parties mentality still speaking. I know it's kind of shitty and drunk elitist, but I like making people chug full beers all fucking night and getting shitty drunk playing beer pong. In my opinion, if you're playing beer pong, it's not getting you plastered, you're not playing beer pong right.
Yes, I'm allergic to both marijuana and hops. And red wine. And apparently that Ludo knows 4 other Ludos.
I saw it, yeah.
So I know almost enough Camerons to have an 8-Cameron team at some events.
That's fair, yeah.
So
yeah.
There's Cam Jam. There's that Cameron that slept with Laney that one time. There's the Cameron who helped us find the treasure at Libertalia that one year. There's Cameron from the Draconian Fleet, the Ministry of Chaos.
Yeah.
There's a couple. They're all on my feed. I've never met a Cameron I didn't like.
That's fair. I know a few Allens. That's okay. You don't need that many of them.
You have a much better rallying cry, though. Alan!
Steve!
You can't really do it, Cameron. Cameron! You can't.
I guess. There's the thing that Katie and Bree do to Cam that drives him crazy, where they sing the can, but the can, but replace it with Cam.
Cam, yeah. We gotta get him to replace it with Cam Jam, because he's Cameron James, Cam Jam.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cam Jam. But also with Clam Jam, which is the female version of a cock block.
It's a female version of a cock block or just a kick to the clam.
It's Clam Jam.
You jam someone right in the clam, that hurts.
Can you imagine if somebody actually made jam out of clams? That would be awful.
Look it up. I'm sure it's happened.
There's clam candy canes. I'm not allowed to buy them.
Gross. I don't want that in my life.
I bought pickle ones one year. Scarface complained.
It's fair. It says the stream is down to 1 viewer. What happened? We've fallen so hard.
I have 2.
Oh, okay. There we go, 2. It's just Beth officially.
Oh, it died.
What? It died out.
My stream went away. My stream questions went away.
Yeah, that's fair. I was talking to people there, yeah, but I want to get a beer pong night going where people get like teams going. I Facebook recently advertised to me shitty beer pong trophies, which I think is hilarious. I want to have like a full-on beer pong tournament night. At some point, I'll have to get inserts for the cups because I know people don't like the ping pong ball touching their thing. But I refuse to give up on there being actual beer in the cups. But you have to find a way to keep it so the ball doesn't touch the beer. So I'll get inserts, I guess.
I guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah. You also have to add a little bit of water into the inserts because otherwise the ball bounces out.
Yeah,
a little bit of water inside every
cup.
cup.
I mean, you could do more bank shots if it was bouncing that much, I suppose.
Yeah, we've had that before. It's just super shitty. Like someone sinks a beautiful fucking shot and it just bounces straight out. Like we've had that happen before. It feels with the inserts, and it feels like, God damn it, fuck you guys.
Yeah, it's like when you're throwing a dart or shooting an arrow and it bounces.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah. Actually, at my at the Bar Greens work picnic we had back in just like a month ago, right before I left. They had a bunch of games, and the winners got prizes, like a $200 cash prize is one of the options for winners of the games, which is kind of nice.
yeah.
The grand prize was a 60-inch Vizio 4K TV, which is fucking sweet. I really wanted that TV, did not win it. It's a little butthurt. But one of the competitions was beer pong, and they were actually serving us beer, like in our warehouse, which is bizarre. Everybody only got 2 beers, because I think it was just kind of because we were in our warehouse, and they didn't want us getting super drunk around heavy equipment. But
Makes
yeah,
sense.
me and Steve were on a team at first, and they came into the finals, and they had to break our team up to see which two of us would be the actual winner. And they made short games, so they only gave us each 3 cups, like a kind of sudden death, like let's not be here playing for 3 hours, you know. And I was up, I got the first cup to Steve real fast, was up, I think we were tied, I had 2 cups left at the table, and I had a water bottle off the side I was drinking from, and Steve accidentally, I believe it was accidentally, bounced the cup, hit the rim of a glass, bounced off my hand on the water bottle, and back into a cup. And bounce shots count for 2 cups. I'm like, I was sitting there like, what the fuck? And people are like, that's a bounce. I'm like, you didn't try and bounce? They're like, no, that bounced. It bounced off the table and back into the cup. That counts. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. That bounced off my fucking hand on the side of the... I'm like, nope, you're right. I fucking lose. That sucks. And that was just game.
I'm going to be honest, I got to agree with you. Even if something wasn't meant to happen and it doesn't mean it doesn't count. Like, I didn't mean to get that girl pregnant, and she's pregnant. She's still pregnant. Like, yeah. Like, I didn't mean to get you pregnant, so you're not pregnant. That's not how that works.
Yeah. But no, Steve won $200 for that, for being the winner of that game. And if I had fucking won, that could have been me. But Steve bounced the fucking shot off my fucking water bottle in my hand off the side of the table. It's just like, God,
I mean, at least your brother got the money. That's...
Yeah, I know. That was cool for him. And he still stuck with the shitty job, so he deserves the $200. Because he's still there, and that job is terrible.
You know, everyone I've heard who's worked there except for Pasha hates that.
Yeah. Well, Pasha's a supervisor, so I mean that's nice for him. He's in charge like that. I hope he makes more than I did. Because me and Steve were only making $15 an hour, and that's just sucks for being employers.
I remember $15 an hour was a reasonable wage.
It used to be at some point. That's why everybody was fighting for that. But with rent being what it is, $15 an hour doesn't get you shit.
9 years ago, when I got the job I got now, I was working at the casino as the maintenance guy. I was in charge of my own department. It was the smallest department. They only had 4 people. And I was making 14. I took this job, and I was making 12. And I really wasn't happy about it, but then the casino went out of business anyway, so it was like, at least I got a job. But within, I want to say it was 3 months, they did a company-wide revision, and they bumped everybody up to $15.50. Wow. So within 3 months, I got a $3.50 raise, you know. Nice. So I was like, okay, that's doable. But like 9 years ago, $15 was a living wage.
Yeah.
But inflation is just ridiculous nowadays.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, when I was working at the casino 4 years ago now, 5 years just about, I was making...
It's been longer than that.
It's, well, my last day was my 30th birthday. I'm only 34, so it's been 4 years.
Oh,
quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've crammed a lot of life in those 4 years.
I know, right? Jesus Christ. But... Yeah, I was making $9 an hour, but with tips. So I was, I told myself, like everybody, kind of the word between the bartenders, like if you wanted to quit and make the same sort of money, you need to be making just over $20 an hour to make the same as you were making it with those tips. And so going from that to 15 was really rough. I started at bar greens $13.50.
I appreciate jobs that are tipped, but I think that America has a tipping problem. We really need to make it so jobs that traditionally Americans tip for that other countries don't still pay a living wage.
It's a fundamentally broken system. I agree with tips. I agree with tipping people. Like absolutely, but it should be extra. And a lot of jobs don't make it extra. They ask people to rely on tips, and they don't pay you well because you're being tipped, and that's shitty.
Well, and what's really weird is like from different areas, you tip for different things, right? Like, okay, everybody knows you're supposed to tip your waitress and your bartender and your cab driver, but some people tip their hairdresser, some people don't. Doormen, like you don't see them a lot here, but in the East Coast, it's a really big thing that you tip your doorman. It's just
I remember the first time I bought Groupon for a massage, and I felt bad because I realized afterwards I just only paid using the Groupon, didn't bring cash to tip them masseuse. So I think it's the thing you're supposed to do.
I didn't know that.
I didn't get a happy ending, so I don't know if it's supposed to not tip if you don't get a happy ending.
Hotel maids.
Yeah, I've heard you're supposed to leave money off to hotel, but that's something I've never thought of or remembered to do.
When I slept in the bathtub, I left $20. That's the only time I've ever tipped, though, because I don't usually leave a big mess. I sleep in one bed, I use the other one to spread my snacks out on, and...
That's fair, yeah. Ugh. Just tip at full price. Yeah, that's the problem. Is a lot of jobs also pay you less than minimum wage because you're receiving tips, and that's a shitty concept.
That should be illegal.
Yeah. Well, when I worked at Muckleshoot, they taxed me based on what they assumed I was making in tips. So my paychecks were like $3.50 a paycheck for 2 weeks of work, which is I didn't give a shit about paychecks. They were damn near nothing.
Right.
But I was making $100 a night in tips. That was where all my income came from.
When I worked at the casino, a bunch of dealers would not bother picking up their paychecks.
Oh.
They would wait until they had like 20 or 30 stacked up because they made the money off their tips and they took that home every night.
Yeah. The paychecks are laughable, because, like you don't even remember the...
And that's also why they'd always come to work sick, is because their vacation time was a joke. So they would just come work sick all the time, and that's why I kind of wonder why casinos are open during the pandemic when there's this whole culture of everybody who works in casinos comes to work sick because they get their money off the tips.
Yeah, you had to know like if you called in sick for a bartending shift, like that's $100 you don't make. Like your sick time didn't mean anything to you. That wasn't going to help. You just were losing that money. You had to be able to eat it. Especially if you took 2 weeks off for vacation. That's just you're not getting paid for that time. It's full out.
Yeah, or unemployment's worthless to you too because you're taking into unemployment based off your hourly, and that's just garbage.
Yeah. That $600 stimulus on unemployment was nice, but otherwise, I mean, $300 a week is what's rough. There's not much to live off of. If I brought home, unemployment would be $1,200 a month for me. That's my rent's nearly $800. So fuck, I'd be fucked.
But anytime you can claim unemployment too, because they took that money from you.
Yeah.
It's insurance. It's not a handout. They took part of your money to put into that fund. My grandfather, who is a staunch Republican, has always been, anytime you can collect unemployment for any reason, do it, because that was your money they took away from you.
Yeah.
He retired from a 30-year career in the military and filed for unemployment the next day.
Fair, yeah. No, my dad was the same way. Like he didn't believe in like food stamps or anything like that, but unemployment was something that you were making. You should take it back at some point because you put that away.
Yeah.
It's money you tuck away, whether you want to or not. It just sucks that they don't let you. I mean, you can't just quit a job willingly and say, "Hey, I want my unemployment insurance now."
You can if the job gives you an unappreciated hardship, like you can factor in your commute, makes it impossible for you to make money at the job because the amount of spending gas and travel time. Yeah. There are a couple of small loopholes in the system to where you can collect unemployment by quitting.
Yeah, There are, but I mean, also it's one of those sort of systems that I mean, you can fight it all you want, and if they decide now, fuck you. I mean, there's so little you can do. You can scream at them and say, no, this makes sense. I should get this. And they're like, nah, take it to court, see what happens.
Get a fair hearing. Always go for the fair hearing. It doesn't cost you anything to go for the fair hearing. But when I was at the casino, we had a girl who took maternity leave and filed for unemployment, and that's not a go. Because you know you're getting unemployed because of personal reasons there. Although I do think that maternity leave in this country is ridiculous.
Yeah. Dude, all these other countries that have male paternity leave, like, man, I would knock up a girl and take 9 months off, like, bam, do it.
Yeah.
Be knocking up girls left and right for that paternity leave. Come on.
I don't know that I agree with just knocking girls up to get time off from work, but I do believe that part of the problem we're having in our society now is we have a lot less two-parent households, and that's probably the problem we have with some of our younger people nowadays. They don't get a strong enough parenting because their parents aren't available because they're struggling to work 2 jobs. Right? It used to be you'd have a parent at home all the time, and now you don't even have a parent home some days.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean,
also,
if you look, go ahead.
Well, we used to have the system, like, this might still be around some, but as a kid, like, me and all my friends had grandparents that were well set, and, you know, that could be babysitters full time because they, you know, thrived off of a good economy and they could just live at home with their full house and spare bedrooms for the children and stuff. I mean, that was great. I mean, I can't imagine having a kid now because I don't have a grandparent. They wouldn't have grandparents to drop off every other day. That's pay for active childcare.
My mom watches like 4 different grandkids every fucking day.
Yeah. So some people don't have that set up. That's tough. Having kids is a scary prospect that I'm terrified of. That I don't think I'm ever gonna get around doing. Totally.
It's really scary. You're really scared of screwing them up. That's the thing that I was worried about. But I think I did pretty well.
Yeah.
But I kind of didn't have a kid. I acquired a kid.
You walked into a kid.
Yeah. So he's a good kid though. He's going to Canada because he doesn't believe this country is sustainable.
Well, that's not a. He's not wrong.
I couldn't tell him he was wrong. So, plus his fiance up there, she's already bought a house.
I hate her a little bit, but I mean, yeah.
But she's a nurse, and in Canada, that's a good state job, you know.
Right.
Her parents came over as Filipino refugees, and they both went to school and became healthcare workers, and she's a healthcare worker, and I mean, that's a point for both the universal healthcare and good immigration policies.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah.
Good job, Canada.
There's a really funny skit on Saturday Night Live I saw one time where after Brexit, they were kicking out all the immigrants and bringing home all the English people from overseas, and they're like, man, this is a nurse from Jamaica, and we're kicking her out, and we're getting back a racist retired cab driver.
God damn it.
I'm going to post that video in the comments for this later on.
You should, yeah.
And you can post the video where I'm doing little squares.
I'll have to. It's on my Google Drive. I just realized the other day.
Yeah.
I'm
a little drunk, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I've seen much worse from other people posted online. And I think I'm comfortable enough in both my job and my heterosexuality that I can put that online.
That's fair, yeah. I might post that later for people to see. I'm on my last drink of the night. I think we need to wrap up here in the next 10 minutes or so. Guys, we got a solid hour or something worth of chat and stream out of this. It's not entirely what I wanted of it. It's still got some kinks, but I think Saturday Night Hookahs and Hottubs went okay.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I was a little hesitant, but I would watch this next week.
Right? Yeah. Next week, I think, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to literally just run a microphone from my computer out to the hot tub and just put the whole thing up on Twitch.
And at Twitch, guest a little earlier, and like maybe have some questions from the audience for him.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was chatting with you like a normal hookah night. So I don't know if the audience is getting everything they wanted out of it.
Yeah, that's part of the thing is I need some more you guys out there to add some things. I'll point at the audience. But I mean, it was a first run, And yeah, it was a fun thing.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. It's been a good time. Yeah, but we just need to find some way to maybe, I guess, add more structure. I don't know. I mean, I guess just me be here chatting with a friend like you for hours, and that's perfectly fine. That satisfies me entirely, and I hope you as well. I don't know how much the audience gets out of that. I mean, the dream would be like, it would be fun if we could just upload this audio as like a podcast later for people to listen to, like you know.
Kind of like the Orc Belly used to do.
What's that?
Like the Orc Belly used to do, the Orc Belly podcast.
Yeah.
I would listen to those.
Right.
Like, I just pop those on, and I'd be like, you know, doing some like paperwork or online work, and they'd be playing in the background.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's the fun thing
Our Angry Mob made it onto one of those.
Right, I remember that. Yeah, that's the fun thing about podcasts is you can put them onto you just put on your car while you're driving. You put on your headphones sometime later. People don't have to tune in at the exact time to watch them. Like, throw them on Spotify, make a bunch of money off a podcast. I still have this dream where I want to be just a social media content creator. Never worked in another day in my life. That would be great.
I actually usually hate those people, so please don't do that.
Well, if I can do it,
that's not true.
You have to hate the right
people
ones.
That assume they're important because of that.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, like, you have to hate the right people. Like, so I was recently informed from a post. I don't know if you saw this. You commented a little bit the thing about Belle Delphine, who's someone who's currently making who's in the last 2 years has made an 8-figure salary off of internet stuff. And I was like, she seems cute. She seems, and I have been informed that I was very wrong in my opinion of her, that she's done some really shitty things, and I didn't know all that behind the scenes stuff, that she had really treated some people like absolute crap and done some really awful practices. But I want to be like an ethical version of that. Sell my hot tub water to people.
I read something, and I don't know if this is true or not, but it says that the American economy system, you can really only get rich because if at some point you're willing to screw somebody else over.
Yeah, and I hate that. That's that fucking guy.
And I hate that. Yeah.
I can't get on board on that. I've never had that mentality of I don't want to step on anybody else to make my money. That's just, it's bullshit.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be that way. Compete, yes. But
Switzerland just asked me if I would sell my butthole on the internet. Switzerland, if it was worth that much money, yeah. If I could make 8 figures off my butthole, I absolutely would.
My great-grandmother, who was devout Unitarian, she said there's a price to get anybody to do anything.
Yeah, I believe that. It's supply and demand.
She's a 4'8" church-going square dancer. I mean, you couldn't get farther from like out there stuff. But she's just literally said one day to me, she's like, "I'm gonna teach you something right now, Cameron. There's a price to get anybody to do anything. It could be huge. You cannot afford it, but there's a price for everything."
I made a wonderful mistake, by the way. My last Bud Light Seltzer is cranberry flavored, not peppermint patty. I saw the red color and assumed I had hidden the last peppermint patty away. Cranberry is super nice. This is a good drink.
I had the cranberry. I agree. The peppermint patty is not undrinkable.
It's not.
But it's like so when I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, we would buy a bunch of fast food or snacks and then bring them to the corporate office up at Ridden for Wizards of the Coast. And any food that we didn't eat before it got cold or any like snacks that were questionable, we called them desperation food.
Yeah.
Because we'd be playing for like 8 to 9 hours, and like, you know, hour 7, you're like, hey, I'm kind of hungry. And you go over there and you like go to the back of McDonald's and pick out like the 4 chicken nuggets and then fries that had fallen to the bottom of the bag.
Right. Yeah.
The peppermint patties are definitely desperation alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, I could drink this, but I wouldn't buy this if I hadn't already paid for it.
It's not my top 100 choices, but if there's anything left, I will get drunk off it. It's definitely a 4 drinks in sort of drink. It doesn't, like, the problem with it is the aftertaste is bad. So as long as you take big swigs and you don't get that aftertaste after a second, it's okay. The initial taste is not terrible, but then after it tastes exactly like a peppermint patty. But you don't want that. I don't want that in my tongue after I'm done drinking liquor. Like, it's a weird thing. I don't know.
It's like the rosé ciders that come in the Angry Orchards, like fucking 12 packs.
Yeah, you save those for last when you're out of everything else good. You're like, shit, we're at the bottom of the barrel.
I can drink these if I'm already drunk.
Yeah. if my standards are already lowered, this is fine.
And if they're not lowered, go to somebody else's fucking camp, drink something of there, come back, you're like, oh, I stole 3 ciders.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. All right, well, Cameron, I think I'm going to let you go. I'm going to call it an end for this. This was a lot of fun, though.
I had a blast.
Yeah, I had a blast.
I'm a little buzzed, and I'm really jelly of your hookah right now.
This is great. I'm loving the hookah. Yeah, in weeks in the future here, yeah, definitely. I want to bring you over to this in person. It's been, we hung out like, was that like 4 weeks ago?
4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago we came in,
yeah.
but
Jesus.
we just had one of the casinos I work at had a positive outbreak, so I'm really kind of glad we're doing this virtually.
Yeah.
It's scary. And they've said that only like 43% of people are going to want to take the vaccine.
That's, yeah, again, not to get too political now, but that's scaring me now that the next push is going to be the vaccine is going to become available and people are still going to say no to it. I've seen tons of friends I would think to be pretty reasonable saying I won't take it. Like, but we have to get out of this somehow, and that's the only way out as far as anyone can see. And I want out.
President-elect Biden has said he'll take it on national television, and George W. Bush, Obama, and Clinton will all line up and take it with him.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just like, dude, like it's not a political issue. I want the fuck out of this. I want out of this. I want life to go back to normal. It's the only fucking option we're currently given. And I'll take whatever the fuck it takes. If it knocks me on my ass for a week, if the side effect's so bad it makes me feel sick, I'll take a week of sickness.
You take the vaccine, it knocks on your ass for a week, and you just go back and take another one.
Yeah. Well, they're saying the first one's a little bit, and it's the second one that knocks you on your ass for a chunk of time.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. The second one's bad. I get
I'll
that.
probably take it.
Yeah. But again, I'll be miserable for a fucking week if it brings life back to whatever it used to be. I mean,
do you know who John Delaney is? He was one of the Democratic presidential candidates. He was a representative. He's a businessman. He said what they should do is they should tie the next stimulus check into taking the vaccine.
I'd seen that, yeah.
Because Americans will do anything for money.
That's a rough proposal.
Everybody's got a price.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm against that 100%. Like, I'd take a $1,200 check to get vaccinated. Fuck yes. Jesus Christ. It's a win-win to me. But no, I'm absolutely one of those people. I have a strong immune system. I will be first chance I get. I hate shots with a burning fucking passion, but I will be lined up to get a fucking vaccine.
I hate shots too. But you know what I hate more than shots? Tetanus.
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. I got a regular flu shot 3 months ago. As soon as the flu season started coming around, I'm like, fuck, this is flu and COVID season. I need to get whatever chance I have. Like,
I've never gotten a flu shot.
No.
Should I do that?
I think it's a good idea. I mean,
I'll be honest though. This year with the masks, I haven't gotten sick once.
Solid. I know. I used to get it every year back when I worked at the casino because casinos are a fucking melting pot of disgustingness.
100%. And I usually get sick by this time of year at least once. But because everyone's wearing the mask and they're keeping their goddamn germs inside of it, I haven't gotten sick once. I hope to God
it helps.
American culture keeps sick people wearing masks.
Dude, I mean, honestly,
right?
we all have the fucking masks. Keep them, yeah.
And you're at work or you're out in public, wear the mask. A ton of other countries do it.
I would love to see the stigma on masks go away. People would say, hey, I have this mask at home. I caught a fucking cold. I'm going to wear a mask. Like, just, it doesn't fucking hurt you.
And stay 6 fucking feet away from me unless you know me.
I would love social distancing to last forever. Just a 6-foot rule. I don't ever want to have anybody in public. Maybe I want to go to concerts and shit again, but like at Safeway, I don't want anybody closer than 6 feet to me ever. At fucking Walmart,
we've really gotten too close as a society.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. But again, we're victims like the Seattle freeze sort of mentality where we don't want anybody near us in the Pacific Northwest anyway. So.
That's actually it's a big thing in some countries, and a lot of the Scandinavian countries they don't want to be that close to each other, and they live in cold environments where people get sick often, so maybe they know something.
Yeah, Yeah, and a lot of these countries.
There's reasons that cultures adapt certain things. Anyway, you were trying to leave, and I'm keeping you here, so.
It's fine, yeah. All right, hey, cheers, my friend. Let's do this again in person.
All the viewers. It's been a really big treat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry the technology took so while to get, set up, but this has been fun, and definitely 10-10 would do again.
Hey, you know what? It's a work in progress. Work can only go up from here, right? And I'd like to have you on again another time when things run a little more smoothly. Look at the option of adding the audio to a podcast somewhere, because I think this is a fun conversation we had that maybe people want to listen to later. I don't know. That might just be me. But I'm going to look into that. Yep.
All right.
Yep. Cameron, thank you very much for joining me. Cheers. I will drink for you. I will smoke for you. You don't have a hookah at home because Danny didn't bring your hookah back to you.
Okay, I gave you all my shisha.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Anyways, friend, good night. Thanks for joining me. You guys out there, thanks for joining us. I'm going to look. Please throw some comments. What you liked, didn't like about this. This was a fun night for me. I'm going to look. See, there's an option of keeping the audio for like podcasts. People want to just listen to people like me and Cameron and friends chat. It was a fun thing for me. Always improving, always learning more about it. I was trying to use my mouse on the phone. That does not work. Might still work on phone. But I'm going to hang out in the hot tub a little longer. Check some messages, check up the chat. Thank you guys for joining. Again, this is a really fun experience. This was the first episode of Saturday Night Hookahs and Hot Tubs. I hope you're doing this every week from here on out with a little bit less technical failures. But anyways, thank you guys. See you later. Have a great night.